I'm Sue Borrow and I'm the Kym Project manager. I work for Eramis Housing and I've managed this project for about 2 years. Before I actually came to work here, I worked for an organisation called Middlesbrough Partnership. One of the areas that I worked in at the time was financial inclusion. So we worked with lots of different advice agencies across Middlesbrough to get them to bring themselves together to do some joint working on issues that were focused on any kind of debts or housing or anything to do with benefits, etc. This project was already kind of set up before I actually came here, and I know that my colleague Nathan James had some involvement in the consultation of young people.
My name's Nathan James, I'm the Kym team leader. I was involved in all the consultations to do with that of getting young people's voices and their word and points of how they wanted to be worked with, how they wanted to be spoke to, what services they actually wanted. And I kind of was like a little bit of a voice for those young people, but kind of to get young people together in mass.
We've had about 1,700 young people between the ages of 16 to 24 involved in the project since we opened about 18 months ago. And those young people have kind of come into this building for a variety of issues. So sometimes they come in here and they don't need any help with money at all, but they'll come in and they'll take part in the job club, or they'll come in just to stop them kind of sitting at home on their own and to make new friends, etc. Or they'll come in because they've got some kind of specific health issues.
Before I came to Kym, I was really quiet. I used to stay in my bedroom 5 days a week. I never used to go out, never used to go anywhere, I never had the confidence. It made me feel a little bit depressed. I was on the verge of depression before I started at Kym. Well, I heard about Kym first through former housing provider, which was Guinness Northern Counties, and they explained a little bit about you, a little bit about the project, and when the first meeting would be. I came down to this building before the building even got opened. It was in the process of getting finished. My first meeting was on April the 3rd, 2012.
But what we've really tried to do here is to build the building into an environment for young people in which they can get all the help that they need. If they haven't come in for the financial advice, then what we'll tend to do is when they're in here taking part in a social event or maybe taking part in cooking, we'll kind of look at what kind of financial help that they might actually need, and we'll get them that kind of help and support while they're in here. And it's a real positive building.
What you'll be able to see is the building inside here. You know, there's no person over the age of 24 that has done anything in this building. We're talking painting, building, all sorts of things, you know, that are inside here. A lot of the services as well that young people they've created and said that themselves. We've got social events that we have that young people plan, deliver and take part in themselves. You know, everything in here is young people focused, young people friendly and young person led.
Before I came to Kym, it was just the same routine, waking up, doing nothing, going to bed, waking up, doing nothing. And I thought to myself, I need to get out of that routine. I need to get off my backside and do something for myself, because it's not going to come to me if I don't do it for myself. So I just decided to come up and see what it was about, see what the place was about, and then loved it ever since. My first impressions of Kym were, I'd come in and I seen the place and I was like, oh, looks all right. Wonder what it's going to be like here. And then the first person I met was Sad, and he just greeted me. And from then I just thought, I love this place. Like, he was so kind and so welcoming. So I just loved the place when I first seen it. The support I got from Kym was good because I got support with my money situations because I got sanctioned from the dole when I was on the dole, which put me in a dark place at the time because I had no money whatsoever, so I couldn't get nothing. When I came to Kym, they brightened me up, they give me hope, if you know what I mean. Like, they helped me look into the future and see that it's not all doom and gloom and that I will be getting my money. I just need to get up and do it and sort it out.
One of our targets with the big lottery was to put money back into young people's pockets. So that's maybe claiming benefits that they'd never been or are entitled to that haven't been claimed, making sure that young people are on the right benefit. Maybe people getting into employment, maybe people need some kind of grant to be able to get them some household equipment. And, you know, within, as I say, under 2 years, we've been able to help with young people save 1.5 million, you know, which is more than the project's worth, you know, and we still have a year left of the project to go, you know, so, you know, these types of things are a kind of big thing that we are, and we're very proud to say that we've been able to achieve this with young people's involvement, with young people's help, but we're also educating them as well, so that maybe if our service isn't here, we're educating for the future to be able to say, well, you can do this, you know, we're empowering you to give you the tools to say you can look after yourself, you know, you can financially be okay.
One of the things that we've also seen here is we've helped young people with their financial issues, but we've found that a lot of those young people, you can't help them with their finances because there's that many other things going on. So we said right from the start, we're not just going to help with money because we can't. Because if we don't tackle the other things around employment, around health, around this young person's lifestyle, we're never going to make the changes in that young person that are kind of needed.
Well, I'd just been sacked from working in the hospital because I was with an agency. I was really, really down. I was back on income support. You can't live on an income support money. I don't care what anyone says. You can't live on it when you've been used to having a wage. I was really down. I was getting in bills. I had fines coming out my ears, court dates, everything. It was absolutely ridiculous. And then I came to Kym. Fabulous Kym, must I say. And it's just sorted me right out. I've got a full-time job, working in a care home. They helped me make my CV, apply for apprenticeships, which I ended up getting a full-time job out of. Sorted all my car fines out, pay them weekly at the minimum of what you could pay. I've got everything sorted, I even pay my water bills.
Getting young people into jobs, it's something that we're really, really passionate about as a team, because one of the things that we've kind of seen is a lot of the young people that have come into Kym are on benefits, and that's why they're struggling in a lot of cases. And we're trying to kind of give them the help that they need to make sure they're getting benefits, but at the same time to try and move them on to the employment market, so where they actually need to be.
Going to being back on income support and having no money spare and couldn't buy the kids no clothes, no luxuries really. I couldn't afford it. So like I was missing this bill and missing that bill, and I wouldn't pay my council tax because these had to have the best shoes, and it was just beyond a joke really. I couldn't afford to do everything that I wanted to do.
Before I started coming to Kym, I went to school and went to college, kind of failed college. And that was pretty much it, but I was wanting something more that could give me more experience, something a bit more challenging, so I came to Kym hoping to find that. What made me keep coming to Kym was the computer facilities, because at that time my laptop just kind of busted up and I was looking for a summer job, so computer facilities helped with that. So I was just basically looking for jobs online the whole time. The job club as well helped.
We'll do small sessions in here because I think one of the things that people assume is that young people have skills for employment. And a lot of them that we kind of see on a day-to-day basis really don't. So simple things like how to fill in an application form, how to speak at an interview, or what kind of clothes to wear for your interview, they really would not know. So we do short sessions in here that are for an hour that they can take part in to kind of get those skills. But we also do a job club here that's actually funded and supported by Actes, whereby we have a member of staff here for 3 days a week who does intensive one-to-one support with young people around application forms and CVs and job searching, etc.
I feel like I've developed a lot. I actually got a job here at Kym as business administration apprentice. I feel like I'm learning a lot and no day is ever the same.
A lot of the young people that come into this project don't have basic skills. So we've been bringing in some basic skills sessions to give them basic skills around English and maths, etc. So that if they're filling in that application form, they're going to be filling it in right, really, and it's going to get them through the kind of first stage of the application process. We also do a course called Wheels of Opportunities, which is, I think it's about 5 weeks and it's 2 days a week. Half of that course is around employment skills, so they'd work with the guy who's from the job club to get their employability skills up to scratch. But then on every Monday for 5 weeks, we send them to the bike academy in Albert Park, and we give them an old bike, and we actually say to them, right, we've actually funded this for you. They totally strip down that bike, they respray it, they put all new parts on it, and then once they've finished the course, they can use that bike to get them to and from work. So we kind of giving them the skills for employability, but we're also giving them the bike to help them get to work as well, because that's a big thing that a lot of people really struggle with. We do lots of different activities and events and things like that. I mean, we do some formal training courses. So we do a course that helps young people who are moving into their first home.
The livability course is a course mainly to help young people sort of know the life skills that they need to know when they move into their own accommodation, away from the parents or the family home. Teaches things like how to shop and cook on a budget. The importance of the livability course for young people looking for housing on the Compass website when they're looking for housing, if Aramis have seen that they have done the livability course, then it would sort of put them higher up on the list of priorities.
One of the things that we kind of found was that young people were moving into their first tenancies and they were getting into lots of debt. So they were getting lots of their furniture from the likes of Bright House, getting lots of payday loans to pay for things that they needed. So we do, I think it's about a 6-week course in here, it's 2 nights a week, and it gives them the skills for their tenancy. So we're setting them up to succeed rather than setting them up to fail.
We have 2 credit unions within our side of our building. We have Pioneer and Moneywise. With those, they are able to give young people open accounts with them to be able to save, like say rainy days or jam jar accounts, or even saving for Christmas. With Moneywise, they have the white goods scheme as well, where young people can be able to get loans to be able to get the white goods, get a loan from the credit union and be able to pay that off, you know, in small, affordable payment. We also work with Barclays. Barclays are very good with us. You know, they come down. Dawn, she's brilliant. She just comes down. Sometimes at a drop of a hat to come and open bank accounts for young people. We find a lot of young people that don't actually have bank accounts or methods of being able to store their money or anything. And I think a lot of young people don't know what their bank account can do for them. And Dawn's quite good with that as well. You know, she'll sit down and explain to them what it is that they're getting into, what it is that the bank account can do for them, and the reasons why they are opening a bank account. And just gives them a little bit of one-to-one understanding of what that means and what it can do for them. We also work closely with Tandem. We have Ali Blakey, who comes in and delivers money sessions to young people, and that's from the 13th Housing Association. You know, they're coming down and actually wanting to engage with tenants and young people in the community really, and try and empower them around their money and finances as well. So those are the ones that we work with around that.
We've seen that this project and the way that it's been shaped by young people for young people has really worked and has really helped young people. So at the moment we're based in Middlesbrough. We do bits of outreach in Middlesbrough and we work in local colleges, and we also work on some of the estates too. But we really want to start and get in other areas. So for example, all of the young people that come into this building, we kind of map where they come from, and we found that lots of young people are actually travelling here from Stockton and Hartlepool and other areas because they haven't got a similar service for young people.
We always have always thought about expanding, but obviously, you know, you need to be able to walk before you can run. And we've kind of like, as this service has grown over the 2 years, and it's been so dynamic, and it's also been always changing all the time, and we're always trying to change ourselves all the time as well. We don't like to keep things the same. We try to keep things fresh to gather more interest and not to let young people be bored. To benefit all young people, my heart would say that I'd like it to be everywhere, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be Kym, but a service that operates like this and takes young people seriously and takes on their views seriously and takes on the support needs on a one-to-one support approach, as in actually engaging with them and on a level that is a bit of a friendly level, you know. And I think that that's what's missing from a lot of stuff today.
Before I came to KYM, I was serving in the army. I'd done 3.5 years. Once I came out the army, I was homeless, jobless, and I didn't have a clue about what support was available to me. KYM was the first place that was recommended to me, so ever since I started coming into KYM, I've just stuck with it. I come in most times when I've got nothing to do, because then it's not as intimidating as the other places, because there's no like people in suits or anything like that. It's just friendly advisors who are willing to help you.
We're going to start this year with some work in Stockton first of all, and then in Hartlepool. We've got some funding from 13 Group to actually start that off, but we're also looking for funding to kind of expand that a little bit more as we can, really, because we found that this kind of approach really does help to work with young people.
I'm Kyla from KYM. I'm now Stockton's Outreach Advisor, which I got the job roughly about 2 weeks ago, I think, so I'm really, really eager to start, really looking forward to that. Kym, obviously, it's done massive things in Middlesbrough, and I think, well, that's shown in the fact that we've got funding to go and outreach into other areas such as Stockton and Thornaby and surrounding areas. It can really do so much for you as a person. There's loads and loads of different things that I've got planned, and if I get my hands on the right pots and the right amount of funding from different people, we've got loads of exciting things forward. Funders. But yeah, so come down, get involved, and like I say, whether you need support and advice or whether you just want somewhere where you can go and better yourself maybe, come to us at Kym.